So an interesting article came out today highlighting Aphria's investments in a bunch of different companies. And I actually wasn't aware that these guys were invested into so many smaller companies. And I wanted to kind of just go through them and review them and give you a little bit more in-depth information about each company. Now, some people don't like it whenever a big company takes some money out of its payroll, not payroll, but takes some of its money and puts it into smaller companies. But I personally think that that is good. I think that it makes the company have more potential to grow in the future because they kind of get their foot into some other markets that they might have potentially not been a part of. So I think that this is good. Some people don't like it, so I don't know. You can view it as you like. But also a quick note, Aphria is in tornado country. I found this out today, so there is a very small chance that if you're going to buy the stock and hold it over the long run, there's a very small chance that they will get hit by tornado and their facilities will get destroyed, but just something to note. It is a possibility. Anyways, going into the first company, Cannibal Medical. So this company is a medical marijuana company. This is their website. Aphria spent, how much did they spend? $1.40 per share, 8.4 million they spent. Currently it's 88 a share, so they are in the loss, but this company is growing quite nicely. So if we go over to their presentation, which I'm going to scroll down all the way to the bottom, they currently have 10 clinics, they have over 40 licensed physicians, and they have over 10,000 patients already seen, so it's pretty good. If we go over to the growth, by the way, they have this thing for 17.4 treatable conditions in Canada, 17.4 million. That's a little bit of a optimistic estimate in my opinion. There's what, like 36 million people in Canada, something like that. And yeah, that's a little bit high, I think. I mean, not all you could treat all of these conditions obviously, but come on. That's never going to happen. That number is a little bit too high. But that's okay. But this company is growing fairly nicely. Their referrals are growing fairly nicely from month to month, and their new patients are also growing quite nicely from month to month. So they are growing at a steady pace. Their stock in 2017 should start rising as this company starts making money instead of losing it, so that should be good. In addition to that, Aphria gets access to their patients, so they have a benefit for that as well, which is valuable to Ofra, obviously, because they don't have to spend a bunch of money advertising to those patients. They have a more direct route to people who might actually be interested in buying the marijuana. Also, this company has a cash on hand of about 2.9 million. So that's pretty good. For a small company like this, they only have a $32 million market cap. That's pretty good. All right, moving on. Cannibal, this is basically just kind of your investment firm equity type of thing. Basically, they take a lot of money, they invest it into the companies that they think will grow, and they try to make a profit. Nothing too complicated. Assuming that this company is run by competent people, it should be fine and should go without a problem. And it's already made Aphria money because Aphria bought in for like $1.50 and $2 per share, and this company is currently worth $3.18. So Aphria is already good. Next we have Copper State Farms. This is a company in Arizona. Aphria lended some money for 5% interest, which is fine. Currently they have a 15% stake in the company. This company, this is their website, by the way, and they don't have anything on the website yet. They just have careers and vendors, and all you can do is contact them, and that's it. This is all there is to their website. But in a year or two, once the United States is caught up a little bit in terms of the legalization stuff and getting everything, getting all the laws in place, this company should, start going somewhere. And it could be a good investment. It could be a good way for Aphria to get into the U.S. market, or at least into the Arizona market. So good for them. Moving on, we have Greenacre Capital. It's another equity fund. Something about this though, their CEO, so Aphria's CEO is part of this, I believe, or he's the advisor for them. Where did I see that? They're invested into a few investment firms, and I'm not sure if the CEO is the advisor for this one. He's the advisor for one of them. Thought it was for this one. I might have closed the tab that had that open. My bad. Anyways, another investment firm. That's okay. I'm just gonna move on. So some of the more interesting companies are like Calitra Therapeutics, and this stock is currently pretty popular on Reddit because everybody's invested into it, hoping that it will take off like some of the other research companies that are currently taking off. And their website is pretty good. They're focused on the CBD aspect of marijuana, like a lot of the other companies are. And this is good. If they can get some patents going for, just general CBD stuff, then there's a good chance that they'll hit something useful. Once they start producing products, obviously they might produce something that will actually have a significant impact on the market and will be better than other medicines. It's difficult to say at this point, but it's good for companies like this, a company such as Aphria, to be invested into some sort of a research firm. So I think that that's good personally, but it depends on how you look at it. These companies are expensive to run right now because they're not making a profit, but in the future they have a lot of potential to make a profit. So good for Aphria. The next company is Massroots. Now, I made a video about this company and I wasn't too impressed. This is their website, by the way. And the thing that annoyed me the most is that they have their chart over here and the chart is not up to date. And the green is actually projected growth, which I didn't notice originally when I went over this, but the green is projected note and you can barely read this. You can't zoom in on it. You can barely differentiate between what it says right now. So first of all, this information is not up to date. The whole idea of a website that kind of just reviews marijuana and all of that stuff is not very good. I mean, we have Reddit, we have YouTube, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, and those websites will pretty much get the audiences. They already have the platforms that will do this. And this company is basically just it's a money burner because you have to spend a lot of money to get people to come over to your platform that you've set up, and you're never gonna get you're never gonna get enough people to come over to the point where you'll start making a profit. So I don't think this is a good investment whatsoever. And apparently Aphria agrees because they bought in 500,000 shares at 90 cents each, and then they sold them and made 263,000. So somebody in Aphria understands that this company is not very profitable in the long run. So good for them. It shows that they have competent people. Resolve Digital Health. So this is another pretty interesting company. This is their website, and they have a device developed to allow you to ingest specific doses of medical marijuana. And something like this is useful because currently the reason why medical marijuana is not as popular as it could be is because whenever a doctor prescribes it, they have no way of giving you an actual dose. There's no universally accepted way of giving people doses. So whenever you prescribe, you're kind of just like, well, here's some, try taking of this and see what it does for you. I mean, if it doesn't do anything, take a little bit more. But something like this will potentially give doctors a way to prescribe more specific doses, which is good. And there's some other features that this device does, and it could potentially be pretty useful in the future. This could be a big thing for the company. Moving on, we have Sidian Biosciences. So it's another bio research company, and they're researching concussions, which is something that has a pretty big market for, and they're partnered with NFL, which is, in football, whenever you tackle a bunch of people and you do it on a daily basis, people tend to get concussions. And if these guys actually have something to their medicine, then this could be good as well. Once again, a lot of these companies are speculative at this point. Nobody is really sure if their medicine will be better than the currently existing medicine. And if it's not, then it's kind of pointless. But if it is, then these companies could be really profitable, which is why their prices are usually pretty inflated when you look at their stocks. So another company that could that could get Aphria into another market, which is good. And then lastly, we have Tetra Biopharma. This is a more known company, 77 million market cap. So Aphria bought in shares at 20 cents, and currently it's almost 80 cents, 79 cents. So they've already made a pretty good profit, but it's likely they'll make even more in the future because this company does also research. They currently have their insomnia medication, is CBD based, I believe, in phase 3 of research, and if it is successful, then it should be fairly interesting because it will actually have something to release into the market. And yeah, so yeah, insomnia from chronic pain, that's a pretty good market. So yeah, a lot of companies and a lot of them have potential. So good for Aphria, in my opinion. It's getting its foot into a bunch of other different markets, and if those are successful, then it should be interesting.